Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Miss B. For those of you just seeing my face for the first time, my name is Blessing and I am currently in Aupair here in Germany. And if you're a returning subscriber, I just want to say thank you for always stopping by to watch my videos, and I hope I've been able to help you guys. So if you're an intending au pair, or you're already an au pair, or you're in the process of becoming an au pair, this channel is for you. And on today's video I'll be talking to you about how you can ace your visa interview questions. You know, it's one thing getting a family, getting a contract, and it's another thing passing your visa interview and actually getting your visa, which is why I am making this video today, because I would like to help you from my experiences. So these questions I'm going to be sharing with you are the likely questions you would be asked during your visa interview. These were questions I was asked, and these are questions that are mostly asked. So I hope you can stay through to the end of this video, and I hope this video will be of great help to you, especially for those of you coming from Africa, especially Nigeria. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. So stay through to the end of this video. Don't go anywhere, and let's begin. Okay guys, so welcome back. The first question you're going to be asked during your visa interview, which is always one of the most important questions, is number one, they'll ask you to introduce yourself. Yeah, so you will be asked to introduce yourself, and this is the most common question in any kind of interview, whether it's for a job or for visa. So of course you should be able to tell them about yourself, and I would always advise, preferably if you can do it in German, do it. If you can introduce yourself in German. I know you have your German level at A1, which is very okay, but just to show to them that you're really interested in their country, it is still okay to do it in English. You know, so in introducing yourself, you get to tell them your name and what you do, how old you are, and why you are there. So the next question that they are likely going to ask you, which is the question I was also asked, is why do you want to become an au pair? And guys, let me tell you something. This is a very important question. This is where this question is for them to know your reason. They want to see things from your own point of view. You have to be able to tell them why you want to become an au pair. For instance, you can tell them, yes, I want to become an au pair because I love children, and I enjoy working with children. I feel children are really important and they are special gifts from God. So this is just something you can say. Please don't go there and ramble and start talking off point. Stick to the question. Whatever you do, always stick to the question in front of you. So tell them why you want to become an au pair. And the next question is, why Germany? Yeah, you've told them in the previous time that you want to become why you want to become an au pair. The next question they're going to ask is, why Germany of all countries you could be an au pair in? Why? And guys, let me tell you the trick here. This question is where you need to how do I put it? This question is where you really need to tell them that you know Germany. You know, don't just tell them, oh, because I love Germany. No, this is where you get to tell them facts. Give them facts of Germany that you know, and connect it with an au pair. You could be an au pair in other countries, like for instance in the Netherlands or in the United States, even though Nigerians cannot au pair in the United States because we come from an English-speaking country. Or for instance, you're Kenya, they will ask you, okay, why not in Why can't you au pair in the South Americas? Why did you choose Germany? Here you need to sell Germany to them. Okay, here I would advise you give them facts. Try to know things about Germany. Try to give them facts about Germany and told them that is the reason why you choose to au pair there, because Germany is a really interesting place and it's the country of bread. You love bread. This is for example, you love bread and it's just the perfect place for you. Or you love the German weather, that is if you love cold, because it is so cold here. So you can tell them, yeah, it's a really cool place with nice weather and I love the winter. And you just have to tell them something about Germany that you like. They love it. No, they love it because you say something nice about their country, which is, and please don't go there and lie to them. Okay, tell them, for instance, I could say, um I'm really interested in the history of Germany. I love the fact that there are so many castles in Germany, which is one of the most in the world, and I am fascinated about castles, the history of the former empires and all of those things. These are some things you can say to them to make you, you know to tell them that, okay, this girl knows what she's doing, or this guy knows what she's doing. It keeps them interested. Another question they are going to ask you, which is a very, very important question, is tell us about your host family. Don't forget, before you go for your visa interview, you've already have all the required documents. You've already found yourself a host family. In the previous video I told you how you can get a host family. So yes, you've gotten a host family. This question is for them to know if you really, really know your host family, because they need to know that this is real. You're not just going to, you're not trying to run to their country with, in the guise of an au pair. No, they want to really know if you're really, really, really going to Germany to become an au pair, or you just want to lie to them. And they will know, because some of these people are psychologists, so they can tell when you're lying or not. So you try to tell them about your host family. So please, before you go for your visa interview, I advise that you really know everything about your host family, because trust me, questions can come from anything. Expect the most random questions to be asked. Expect it. They will ask you, you need to know the name of your host mom, the name of your host dad, the name of your host child or host children if there are more than one. You need to know the ages of your host parents, your host children. You also need to know where your host father works, where your host mother works, or if they're not working, the name of the school of your host kid, just to show them that, yeah, you've known this family for a while and you're not they are not fake. You also need to know what kind of things your host family, their routine, their activity, what does their daily activity look like, things like that. I will not lie, you will be asked the most random question. You'll be so surprised, but they know what they're doing. Another thing they'll ask you is, how did you meet this family? So be ready to tell them where you met your host family. Previous video I mentioned you can different ways you can get a host family, on websites or online or through an agency or whatever. So you should be able to let them know exactly where you got your host family. For me, I found my host family on Facebook, and guess what, they actually asked me my interviewer asked me to write the name of the Facebook group where I found them. That was the truth. I had no problem writing it down. So this is because the Germans don't play about fact checking. They are going to fact check you after your interview. They are going to investigate you. So you cannot go there and lie to them. So be ready to tell them where you meet your host family and know many things, everything about your host family. They will even ask you how many times you've spoken to them, or how you speak with your host family. Is it on video call? Is it on Skype or whatever? So be ready to tell them how you communicate with your host family. Sometimes they will ask you, how many times in a week do you talk to them? How many times in a month? And how long have you known them? I was asked these questions. So be ready to tell them how long you've known them. Is it 6 months? Is it 1 year? Is it 2 weeks or 1 week? Whatever it is, be ready to tell them. But it will be better if you have a relationship with your family, that you've known them for a longer time and you're able to communicate well with them. And whatever you are asked, they're going to also check it with them. So whatever it is should tally. The next question you're going to be asked is details on your contract, which is I cannot stress this enough. This is very important. You need to know what your contract entails. You need to tell them the hours which you work in a week or in a month, which of course the au pair hours in a month is 30 hours in a week. So that means 6 hours per day. Some families it could be 5 hours per day, but you are not supposed to work more than 6 hours in a day. In another video, I'm going to tell you how you can spot red flags in host families. So please don't go there and be working the whole day. It is not allowed. That is not how it's supposed to be. As au pair, also you need to learn the rules and regulations of au pair. You need to read. You will find it at the Agentur für Arbeit website. So you need to read everything, details on what you're supposed to do as an au pair, so that even in your contract, when you're making the contract with your family and anything is out of place, you can bring it up to them. So here you tell the interviewer the hours which you'll be working and your free time. Do you work the entire week? When is your off days? Because you as an au pair, you're entitled to 1.5 day of off days. Some families give you 2 days off, like me, I have the weekends of. Some family it is 1.5 days off. But you have to know that you have to know your rights as an au pair. So yes, another thing is you have to tell them if your contract has to state that you'll be going for a German course, because this is part of the cultural exchange program, learning the language, learning the culture, and actually integrating. And the family is responsible for paying for your language course. So they'll ask you how much it is. The family will, how much will this family pay you for your language course in a month, and how will it be paid? Are you going to split the cost of the course with the family, or just basically everything in your contract is what you will still say to them? So you need to really understand what is in your contract. Another question that they will ask you, this one is a very tricky one, so guys, come forward and pay attention. Hold your ears. The next question is, what will you do after your au pair year? See guys, listen to me carefully. Don't go there and tell them, oh, after my au pair year, I would like to stay in the country and maybe find a job. That is nicht erlaubt. That is not allowed. Okay? The au pair program is for 1 year, and here you should be able to convince them that after your 1 year you are leaving their country, because they want to be able to trust you that you're not going there to do something else. You're actually going there to become an au pair. So don't go there and tell them, oh, after my au pair I want to do Ausbildung or a volunteer. Nah, don't say that to them. Tell them, for instance, oh, after my au pair year I'm going to come back and to my country and, you know, put into actions the things I've learned from Germany, maybe find a job as a cultural person, or start teaching the language, just anything other than you want to remain in the country after your au pair year. You shouldn't say that, because that is not the plan for au pair, that you remain in the country after. It is a 1 year program. In some countries like the US, it's a 2 years program, and afterwards you're to return back and whatever. So do not tell them, oh, after I want to. I remember on my live yesterday on TikTok, a girl said, oh, she was planning to tell them after her au pair she wants to do Ausbildung. No dear, you cannot say that to them, except you're not ready to get your visa. The next question they can ask you is, do you have any friend in Germany? Do you have any family member in Germany? Do you know anybody in Germany? And for me, I didn't have anyone, so I said no, and I will really advise you to say no. So you have to let them know if you know anybody in Germany or you have a family member there. So the next question they'll ask you is, what is your plan B? If we deny your visa, what is your plan B? Because it's plausible. This visa is 50-50. You might get the visa, you might not get the visa. But they'll still like, you know, if, for instance, we deny you this visa, what is your plan B? Now, this is where you have to really be honest. For instance, this was what I said. I was like, okay, if I'm denied this visa, it will break my heart a little bit, but this would give me the opportunity to even learn the language even more, further my education, early childhood education, or become a child psychologist. So now, whatever your plan B is, the main thing you should know is that whatever your plan B is, it should still involve children. Find a way to still make it about children. And actually, that was really my plan B. So this puts you in good light to them that, oh, you're not, it's not a do or die affair for you, that, oh, you must be in Germany. It's not a do or die affair to you. But even if this does not work as you want it, you have a plan B for your life. You still have some things you do for your life. You still have your ambitions to chase, but try to make sure those ambitions are still in line with children, with culture, with Germany if possible. And also try to make sure it is in line with your motivational letter, which is one of the most important documents you will submit, your motivational letter. I'll make a video where I will show you my motivational letter. Or another question they asked me, which is like you're likely to be asked as well, and to tell you, this is another trick question, so you really need to be careful here. They'll ask you, how much are you going to earn as an au pair? And you know, of course, how much au pair earn, which is not a salary, because it is not a job. It is too small to be a salary. You cannot pay tax. You can't pay as au pairs. You don't pay taxes because you don't earn a salary. Whatever you get as your pocket money, it's not enough to even feed you in a month. That is why you live with the family and the family feeds you and all of that. So you tell them how much you're going to be earning with your, as an au pair. Make sure it is in line with the European, the German regulation, and also make sure it is stated in your contract as well. So you tell them how much, and now they're going to ask you that, but that's a little, that amount is too small. This was what this interviewer said to me. This money is too small. You can't even survive in a week with this money. Don't go and put your mouth and say, ah, you're true, you're right, yes, you're right, I'll find a second job. As an au pair, you're not allowed to do another job. You're not allowed to take up another responsibility. Your responsibility, which is the reason why you are in that country, is to take care of the children. That is your only job, to be an au pair, to take it. So you cannot do extra job. Your resident permits don't let you do that. So if you're caught, you can't be deported. So you can't do other jobs. You can't even do mini jobs or part-time jobs. So don't go there and tell them, I'll take a second job, I'll look for a part-time job. Now you're not allowed to do that. So you must not say that, because that is not allowed. So when they try to make you fall into the trap by saying that money can't even last you a week, why do you want to become an au pair when the money is not? Tell them it is not about the money, and you want to learn the German culture. So tell them the money is not the reason why you want to become an au pair. Don't fall for the trap and say, you're right, the money is too small, maybe I'll find don't do that. Another question they're likely to ask you is, which is a question I was asked, and that they'll ask you why you want to become an au pair. When, for instance, if you already have a bachelor's degree, they'll try to, they want to know why you still want to become an au pair when you already have a bachelor's degree. So yeah, you have to have a strong reason why you still want to why you want to become an au pair, even though you have a bachelor's degree already, and you have to be able to defend yourself, defend your reason. Now, the last but not the least question that you're likely going to be asked is, are you single? You're going to be asked that question, are you single? And my advice to you is to say no, that you're not single. You should tell them, especially if you're not single, tell them you're not single. Trust me, that will help you. Because by doing so, by letting them know that you're not single, you're actually giving them a reason that after your au pair year, you will return back to your country. Because that is what they expect. After your au pair year, you return back to your country. So when you tell them there is someone back home waiting for you, I'd advise you tell them no, you're not single. Better still if you're engaged but not married, because you cannot be married as an au pair. As an au pair, you're not supposed to be married, and you're not supposed to be a mother. You're not supposed to have had a child, like have a child. You're supposed to be without a child, because you'll be responsible for another person's child, and you can't do that when you also have your own child, because you cannot actually travel with your child. So you're supposed to be single without children. By single, I mean unmarried, and not a mother. That's what I mean. You're not a mother. Okay guys, so with this I have come to the end of this video, and I hope I've been able to help you guys so far with this video, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. I do hope also that you can subscribe and like, turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I drop a new update. And don't forget to follow me on my social media handle. My TikTok is in my description, and my Instagram, everything, you'll find it on my bio. So follow me, ask your questions. I go live every week on TikTok, and there I explain, give more in-depth details, and answer your questions directly. So please engage in this video, share this video, and I hope it has been helpful. And I really wish you well in your visa interview. Good luck to all of you. Don't forget, Jesus loves you, and that is all that matters. Tschüssi.